Hello family and welcome to Kami Ideas. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Don't also forget to leave your comments, your suggestions and your questions. So today I'm just going to educate you or give you a small education on the processes involved in accessing healthcare in Ghanaian health facilities. Like when you are sick and you visit the facility or you're going for a checkup, you visit the health facility, what are you supposed to do? What are some of the processes involved? What happens? I just felt the need to do this video because I realized that I remember when I was in senior high school, I wasn't feeling so well. I decided to visit the health facility. I got there and I spent so many hours in the facility. I was expecting to just get to the facility and they will attend to me, give me my medicine, and I'll go home, come back to school. But I didn't see that. I had to wait, do this, go here, and I got tired. I had to just take my insurance card and leave the facility without goodbye any nurse or doctor. I just took my bag and look left, right, front, back. No one is watching me left because I was like, I'm fine. I went back to school because the frustration was too much. You go to the facility and then you spend so many hours and things like that. And I know that people have also experienced what I'm talking about, and some even lose their patients and they even end up fighting with their hospital workers and all that. So at the end of today's video, when the next you visit hospital, which I don't pray you'll be falling sick all the time and going to the hospital, but the next time you visit the health facility, you would know what you're supposed to do and you understand why some things are done the way they are. So the first thing is, when you visit the health facility, your first point of contact is at the records department. That's the folder unit or the record department. And what happens there is that they take your insurance card, they ask you to put your insurance card in a box, and then they ask you to go and sit down. They are not nurses nor doctors, they are just working under Ministry of Health. So they take your insurance card and verify whether your insurance card is active or not. And if your insurance card is active, they'll give you that means you are insured. They'll give you an insured folder. And if it's not insured, if your card is not active, like it has expired and you didn't renew, that means you are not covered by health insurance, even though you are having the health insurance card. That means you pay for everything, like you pay for your treatment. So that's why there is a need to always make sure your card is active, your insurance card is active. And even with an insured card, most of the medications are not paid by health insurance. Health insurance doesn't cover everything, like it doesn't cover from head to toe. Even though they say free healthcare, it doesn't cover everything in the facility. So sometimes people get issues. You have your insurance card and you don't understand why they are asking them to pay for certain things because they have insurance card, and insurance card don't cover everything in the facility. So that is what is there. But if your card is expired and you don't renew and you go to the facility, you pay for everything from medication to treatment, and you pay for all. So always keep your card active. So at the further units, when they will sort out, like they treat people, like they attend to people according to severity, not only at the further unit. This is like general hospital. We prioritize treatment, like conditions. Like if there's an accident scene, that's not the time you'll be picking people folders there to check and asking for their card to see if you are insured and uninsured. Emergency cases are treated emergent. Sometimes they even have to they'll just write your things on a sheet of paper and later on follow up for your insurance card and all that to sort you out. And if it's an emergency case, you are there, someone is suffocating, someone is not able to breathe and all that, this is not the time for you to come and be looking for card and things. Someone is in labor and the baby's head is almost out, that's not the time to looking for insurance card. So insurance card, when depending on, maybe you are not feeling well, you are having headache, and depending on what you present, when they realize that it's not a severe case, they'll look for your insurance card, like they will sort you out, find your folder, and then they just you go through the normal process. So at the folder unit, you put your card there, you sit for a while, they will verify your card and do accordingly. From there, they will direct you to come to the OPD. And that's where you meet nurses. Nurses are the first point of contact with the nurses at the OPD, and the OPD stands for outpatient department. And what happens there is that they pick your folder and check your body, your vital signs. That's, they check your weight, your BP, your blood pressure, your temperature, and the rest. And some hospital protocols, they will check, they will do you a malaria test. That's the RDT, the random diagnostic test, to rule out malaria. So when you go to this is to help reduce the number of times you waste or you spend at the laboratory to do a malaria test. So when that is done, they just pack your folder, and when they pair your vital signs that they will check, if they realize that someone is having a severe condition, like someone's case is that severe, your folder will be sent in like that as soon as possible. Let me say your BP is so high, temperature is so high, that depending on, every hospital has a protocol. Okay, so for kids, for adults, and yes, so there's a priority for or a mode of treatment for emergency for kids. What are some of the cases that need immediate attention? What are some of the cases that need this, that? Yes, and some hospitals to in case of emergency cases like that, we have the triaging unit. So they have code of colors. They tag you if your case is this severe. They have a color they will give you. If it needs later or immediate care, you have a color. If the person is this, they sort out diseases according to severity, and they do the needful. But I'm just talking about general OPD, what happens there. So after your vital signs are checked and recorded and taken, and they realize that they are in normal range, you'll be asked to sit down for a while. So they will send those folders to the consulting room at the OPD, the consulting room, and they have a doctor, a prescriber, whoever is there to attend to you. So you go to the consulting room, you will sit down, and there was always a nurse in the consulting room with a doctor. So you sit for a while, and what happens there is that per the vital signs that people present or what is recorded at the OPD, they send the folders accordingly. So sometimes you might find yourself in the facility before somebody, and the person comes and is being attended to, and then you don't understand. You are like, I came here before this person, how come the person is being attended to before me? In the hospital, we are not supposed to be doing I know you. It doesn't work there. If my sister should come to the facility and present a case that is not that urgent, I can't be attending to her while there is an emergency case who needs immediate care, and I'll be saying because it's my sister. That is not the right thing to do. So sometimes when you find yourself in a facility, you happen to go before somebody and they are attending to the person before you, don't get angry. This is what happens there. We treat people according to the severity of what they present. So from there, a nurse will call out your name from the consulting room. They will bring out folders and come and mention who is this, who is that. You respond, you sit, they'll arrange you. They normally arrange you, sit here. Next person, next. Who goes after who? So in the consulting room, a lot of things happen there. And sometimes if there's an examination bed, you lie on the examination bed, your condition or what to present. The doctor will examine you there, and privately the doctor is just you and the doctor and the nurse. They examine you in the consulting room to find out so many things. So they ask you so many questions. Some are like, what did you eat yesterday? When was the last time you did this? When was the last time you did that? Just to ensure that you are mentally stable. Some of the questions are just to ensure that this person knows what he's doing, or so that they don't diagnose you wrongly. So they ask you a lot of questions. If there's a need to do examination, they will examine you, lie down. So just cooperate. Like they will tell you to do this. We want to do this exam to find out this, that. From there, the doctor will request for some tests for you to go and do, maybe a blood test or a urine test or something per what you present. Okay, so you'll be sent, or you'll be directed to go to the laboratory. So you go to the lab there. The lab too is another different department. Those working in the laboratory are not nurses. They are on a different department. They are not nurses, they are not doctors. So it's we have so many different departments in the hospital. So at the laboratory there, they take your sample, they take what they are supposed to do. If you are supposed to do a urine test, a blood test, to what the doctor has requested, they will do it for you. You wait, take your results, and then bring it back to the doctor, and then the doctor will confirm and write out what he's supposed to write. So when you from the lab, you come back to the consulting room, and then they will attend to you. So when they realize that your condition is that serious, the doctor will explain to you what you presented. I think you need to be admitted for us to monitor you for some time before you go home. And if you consent to the admission, you'll be admitted. If you don't agree and you want to go home, you voice it out. So if your case needs immediate, or is an emergency like that, or you need to be admitted, they will explain to you. When you agree, they'll direct you to which particular ward you will go. And then what happens is that some hospitals, they will just send you straight to the ward. And we have inpatients and outpatients. And the inpatients are those people who are being admitted in the facility, called them inpatients. And then they will send you to the ward, they will take you to the ward, and then the ward nurses will follow up they'll take your folder, welcome you, ask your name and all that, verify to ensure that they are receiving the right person to their unit. So from there, they'll take your folder, follow up and pick your medications, and then come and attend to you. And sometimes if you come with relatives, they might ask your relatives to just take your folder and go to the pharmacy department and then pick medications that will be needed or that will be used to treat you in the ward. So that's what happens. And some facilities too, they just pick per the severity. As for picking medication and things like that, you'll be sorted out. So I'm just giving guidelines. From here you move to here, from here you move to here. So but when the doctor realizes that your condition is not that urgent and you can be treated and be discharged to go home, you'll be considered as an outpatient. If your case is not that, doesn't need admission, the doctor will just write medication for you. If you don't know where to go, just come back to the OPD nurses. Where am I supposed to pick? They will direct you to the pharmacy. The pharmacy is a different department to no nurses working in the pharmacy. The pharmacy, just like any pharmacist, what the doctor prescribed, they will serve your medications to you and even tell you, take it this way, that way. So when you take your medication, you come back, you bring it back to the OPD nurses. It is their duty to educate you on how to take the medicines and all that. And the doctor will write a review, like when you are supposed to come for a recheck, a checkup, to find out whether you are responding to treatment, how is your health, are you well or you're not well. So a review date can be like, come back in a week's time or two, or even in a month. So they will educate you on that, take your folder back, and then the OPD nurses will keep your folder, then you go home, just like that. But if you are an inpatient, an inpatient means you stay on admission. So if your case needs to maybe you need some fluid to just hydrate you and then discharge you, you'll be asked to lie down at the OPD, or they will put you we normally have beds at the OPD, and then you lie there for a number of hours, and if you are well, you'll be asked to go home. So basically that's what happens at the hospital. First point of contact with the nurse is at the OPD. I pray this education blesses you. And in my next video, by the grace of God, I'm going to be talking about hospital rankings ranking in the nursing sector and our uniform differentiation. You see us wearing almost the same thing. You don't know who is a student, you don't know who is a senior nurse, you don't know who is a permanent staff and all that. So I'll be educating you on the different types of uniforms and how to differentiate between the different types of nurses. So this is why I'll be ending the video today. I hope you are blessed, stay focused, always be good to people, and God bless you.